The SJM Smucker Company has an iconic portfolio of consumer brands they've been building for more than 120 years. It's a fifth-generation family-run business that's evolved into multiple product categories while consistently growing cash flow and dividends. In this video, I'm going to provide a comprehensive overview of Smucker's current business and explain why I think it's a great value to add to your long-term dividend stock portfolio.
Days looking new and bright, and you're gonna start it right. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
My name is Zach, and you should leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. You should never invest in a business you don't understand, so today I'm going to provide a full picture look at SJM stock. First, let's recap the company's history. In 1897, Jerome Monroe Smucker founded the SJM Smucker Company, selling homemade cider and apple butter door-to-door from the back of his horse-drawn wagon. Family legend says he used fruit from the trees planted by Johnny Appleseed in the early 19th century. Over time, the company would create multiple fruit spreads and become a nationally distributed brand by 1942. They went public in 1959 and continued to grow through the acquisition of new brands and the creation of innovative products. So what does their business look like today? It can be broken down into three main segments: pet food, coffee, and consumer foods. Pet food is their largest segment, representing 36% of net sales. This includes brands like Milk-Bone, Meow Mix, Kibble and Bits, 9 Lives, Milo's Kitchen, Nature's Recipe, Pepperoni, Rachael Ray Nutrish, and Snossages. Breaking down the segment's net sales, 34% comes from dog food, 30% from cat food, and 30% from snacks. They have number 1 market share in dog snacks at 24%, number 2 in cat food at 18%, and number 3 in dog food at 13%. Snacks is the fastest growing segment in the pet category, and their top Milk-Bone brand puts them in great position to capitalize on this growth. Meow Mix is the number 1 dry cat food brand in both household penetration and volume share. Coffee is their second largest segment at 29% net sales. It includes brands like Folgers, Dunkin' at-Home Coffee, and Café Bustelo. These are all retail brands, with 50% of net sales being mainstream, 26% one cup, 16% premium, and 8% instant. They have number 1 market share in the at-home coffee category with 3 of the top 10 brands. According to company research, 62% of Americans drink coffee and 4 out of 5 cups are consumed at home. They are very well positioned in this category. Consumer foods is 20% of their net sales. It includes brands like Jif Peanut Butter, Smuckers, Smuckers Uncrustables, Sahale's Snacks, Santa Cruz Organic, Adams, and Dickinson's. They have number 1 market share in peanut butter at 46% and number 1 in fruit spreads at 42%. In this segment, 46% of their net sales come from peanut butter, 20% from fruit spreads, and 19% from frozen handhelds. Frozen handhelds represents their Smucker's Uncrustable brand, which is an absolute powerhouse. It has had over 20% net sales compound annual growth over the last 19 years and is on track to exceed $500 million in sales by 2023. So you should recognize most of these brands, especially if you live in the United States. Now, let's try to gauge how these products are actually competing in both physical stores and online. I took a trip to a local grocery store. You can see Jif Peanut Butter gets significant shelf space. Smuckers is the top jelly. They have many variations of both. Folgers Coffee gets very large shelf space. Here you can see some of their 1850 Folger brand. Dunkin' also gets significant shelf space, and I'd say their packaging was some of the best in the aisle. Milk-Bone gets huge shelf space compared to other dog treats. You can also see Pepperoni. Here you can see some of Milo's Kitchen. Meow Mix gets huge shelf space. Smuckers also makes various dessert spreads and Magic Shell. Now, this is just one store, and it of course varies at different locations and chains. Online is also a growing part of the shopping environment. So let's look at Amazon. On Amazon, if you search peanut butter, Jif is one of the top results, and in the brand section, it's listed number 1. If you search jelly, Smuckers is one of the top results and listed number 1 in brand. If you search coffee, Dunkin' comes up and Folgers is listed second in the brand section. It's important to remember that since these are established brands, people may search directly for these as well. If you search for dog treats, Milk-Bone comes up and is listed number 1 in the brand filter. If you search for dry cat food, then Meow Mix comes up multiple times and is listed number 1 in brand. It's also top rated and Amazon's choice. It's important to remember that the top results in Amazon and many websites are often sponsored. In my research for this video, I checked out the websites for Walmart, Kroger, and Sam's Club as well. The results were very similar. Whether online or in store, the environments are actually quite similar. It's either physical or digital shelf space. In both situations, consumer brands face the threat of private label store brands. To fight this, you need to build brand recognition and get your product in the mind of the consumer. You need to avoid commoditization of the product. I think Smuckers categories are suited to do this. In my opinion, it's easier to market and differentiate food than something like toilet paper or paper towels. Also, there's a lot of value in brands that remain popular for long periods of time as they have built-in consumer recognition. This helps form an economic moat around the business. I think Smucker's core brands are well positioned here. They just need to continue marketing execution and making sure they are being distributed everywhere for the consumer. So now that you have a good idea of Smucker's business, let's take a look at their financials. To do so, we're going to be using the website that I've been building. It's not yet released, but I've been working on it a lot and will be sure to make it known when it launches. SJM stock is currently priced at $119.11 and valued just below $13 billion. The stock price has largely traded sideways over the last 5 years despite its consistent growth in earnings. They actually just had a fantastic prior fiscal year due to the work-from-home environment. This increased their at-home coffee business and caused a surge in pet adoption, increasing their pet food sales. I think a lot of this demand will actually stay long-term. Work from home has become far more common and people have built up habits. Also, all these new pets are now customers for their entire lifespan. These were also growing categories prior to the pandemic. Let's look at some of their other financials. Their revenue has been growing slowly for decades. If we look at their annual numbers, they're currently at a 1.87 price to sales ratio based on their last fiscal year. Their top line revenue growth seems slow, but they've been able to grow their free cash flow at a much higher rate. Their free cash flow per share has been consistently growing. In fiscal 2021, they earned $11.19 in free cash flow per share. This is great, but may be lower over the next 1 to 2 years. This is not due to a drop in sales, but increased cost side inflation hurting their profits. This is happening across so many different CPG companies. We can see its impact in the 2 most recent quarters. Luckily, Smuckers does have pricing power in many categories due to the strength of their brands. They actually just increased their prices on Jif peanut butter due to cost increases, and the rest of the market followed their lead. Inflation will definitely lower short-term earnings, but I don't see it as a problem long-term. We can see the effect of inflation in their margins as well. The past 2 quarters had 8.3% and 7.6% net margins after an entire year ranging between 10 and 12.5%. With their balance sheet, most debt is from acquisitions, and I don't think it will pose a problem to the company's long-term objectives. Historically, they have not shown to consistently do share buybacks. However, they have been buying back shares over the last 3 quarters. A consistent share buyback program would definitely help total returns long-term. In a recent investor presentation, the company said that they plan a balanced capital allocation strategy, with 50% going to investing in growth and 50% towards dividends, share buybacks, and debt repayment. Speaking of dividends, the company has been consecutively increasing their dividends for 19 years. In fact, they just had a 10% dividend increase. This brings their quarterly payout to 99 cents per share and an annualized forward dividend of $3.96. This puts the current dividend yield at 3.32%, which is very solid. The current payout ratio is around 46%, which gives plenty of room to grow the dividend over time. Over the last 10 years, the compound annual growth rate of the dividend is 7.51%. Personally, I think the company is trading at a discount right now. If we use my discounted cash flow calculator and put in conservative estimates for the free cash flow, growth rate and a discount rate of 10%, then it says the stock is 42.73% undervalued. I made a video explaining this process if you want to learn more about it. Overall, I think SJM stock is a quality company and is undervalued in today's market. However, I don't think this is something you should be chasing at a higher valuation. Currently, I own 17 shares of SJM at an average cost of $121.28. I will likely be buying more at these prices, but don't take my advice blindly and be sure to do your own research before making any investment decisions. Thank you for watching Dividend Data. I'd greatly appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you follow me on Twitter, link in the description, you can get real-time updates on my buys and dividends coming in. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Dividend Data. You can support the channel over on Patreon where you can gain access to a community Discord server. The link is in the description. Please leave a comment below and thank you for watching.